I don't see anybody. Anybody on this video?
Anyone's there?
I don't see anybody there. Wait, there's one person right there. No, it was a person that was specking the lens. I don't think you have anybody watching today.
They're not coming.
No, I don't think they're coming.
I thought they were going to come and sew.
Well, you can sew with me. No, maybe not.
Hi everybody, it's Angela from Quarter Inch Seam. Hello. Day 22. 22. When Steve goes to edit this, he'll say, what's with the peace signs? It's not peace signs. It's 22 days. That's the closest that I can get with my hands. Okay, so I have a surprise for you today. We are going to start, with the grace of God, we're going to start a sampler quilt. I was thinking last night, you know, some days I come in here to sit down and chat with you guys, and some days I have no idea. I think I talked about this yesterday. Like, I have no idea what I want to do or what direction I'm going in or like what we're doing. So I thought sometimes what makes a quilt overwhelming, or, you know, you say like, okay, or I think to myself, okay, what am I going to sew today? What am I going to sew today? Like trying to come up with a brand new project for every single day that I can get through start to finish and have everything like ready to go before I come in here. And sometimes that just does not happen. Shocking. So here's what I thought. I was looking, and I will, let me figure out how we're going to share the pattern that I'm using, because it's a sampler quilt and it's something I've always wanted to do, because I've always wanted to do some of these more classic or more traditional quilt blocks, but not necessarily like the whole quilt in that block. Or, does that make sense? You know, I wanted to do, you know, try different blocks, because some we might just not like. Sorry. Some might be too complicated for me. Again, shocking. And, some might be too simple. You know, some might be, sometimes I've started on some blocks where I like the coloring or the fabric that they've used, and it all looks fine and good, and then you kind of get into it and it's like, oh God, 840 squares like this. So get everything out of the way. So here's what happened. Here's what got me thinking about this. I thought a sampler quilt would be fun. I don't know when this came to me. I had another very weird experience when I was sleeping last night that I'll tell you about maybe in a minute. We'll see. So I found this pattern, and it must be some sort of a sign, because, excuse me. Too much sparkling water today. I have downloaded this quilt, this pattern before. I know it, because now that I'm looking at it, like I know, right? But here's where I got stuck before. Where I got stuck before was I didn't have any real pressure on me to get anything done, right? Like, I didn't have to be there every day. I didn't have to come in and talk to you every day. Not that I have to come in and talk to you every day, but I've challenged myself to come in and be in here every single day and sew something. So what happened the last time was I got stuck. Most of you are going to understand this and not be surprised that it happened to me, and probably had it happen to you. I got stuck in the finding the right fabric mode. Have you ever done that? You see a pattern and it says, okay, you need, 4 teal, you need, a couple of teal colors, and you need this thing is dull as you know what, and I don't know where I have those larger blades. So we're going to use this one, which is probably also dull. This one I know is dull. Let's just try it. And I put a new blade in this thing at some point one time, and I couldn't figure out why all my cuts were awful. All my cuts were awful. They were all wonky and weird. And so one day I thought maybe it's the cutter, and I had put 2 blades in there. Okay, so back to why I didn't do this the last time. So in trying to do it really similar to the way that she did it and use the color callouts that she did, we're gonna have to change the thread color. I got stuck there. And so I bought a few fabrics, and then we're going through thread like ain't nobody's business. I've never gone through this much thread before. But I heard somebody say one time, maybe it was Jenny Doan from Missouri Star. I thought she made some comment about, like she uses white and black. Right? That's like she uses white and black. And, unless you're quilting. And so I thought I was somewhere and they had a particular thread on sale, and it's a very neutral, it's kind of a creamy color. And 4, 5, 6. My machine has numbers. So I know where to go next. If it didn't have numbers, I would have no idea how to thread my machine. Nope, didn't catch. Nope, still didn't catch. Now I don't know what's happening here. Sorry, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, just thread the needle. Thank you. Okay, so you're just not going to cooperate today at all, are you? It's only Tuesday. Okay. So today I thought, okay, now I still have to get the fabrics together, right? And I don't want it to be colorings, right? I don't want to be too scrappy. So I came in and I started looking through part of my stash, one of my bins, really quickly. And I found, this is terrible to admit, but I'm going to admit it. I had done, while I'm doing that, while I'm telling you that, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So we're going to do the 9-inch. This pattern comes in, you can either do 6-inch blocks or 9-inch blocks. So I'm going to do the 9-inch blocks. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to do 5 3.5-inch squares of the first color, which is the darker color. And then 4 3.5-inch squares. No, 5 of my lighter color and 4 of the darker color. Yeah. Okay, so we know we need at least. So that's 3.5, right? 3. And yeah. Hang on a second. The little markings on this particular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to cut on 4. We're going to cut on 4. I lost my train of thought. about a few years ago, probably. I may have started it when we were still in California. I had signed up for, I think it was through Annie's. Do you guys know Annie's? She has all the different hobbies, you know, crafts, quilting and needlepoint and crochet and knitting and all kinds of different great stuff. Anyway, she had it's not really a block of the month. It's not really it was like a quilt club. You know, you do like a 12-month quilt club thing, and every month they send you something different. And I've got one that's really adorable. It's these applique things that we'll do at some point. Maybe we'll make a whole month of that. But she had one that was like a project of the month. And so a lot of it, there were a lot of like placemats and table runners. And in fact, I did a table runner at Christmas time that was from hers. And I have some other little projects that maybe we'll try and slip in. But some of the fabrics that showed up, I didn't necessarily care for well, here's two problems. Some of them I didn't necessarily care. It was Fat Quarter Club. It just dawned on me what it was called. It was Fat Quarter Club because everything you got was fat quarters. So some of two things. One, they should have put the pattern, little trifold thing, like in the front of the fabric or somehow attached it to the fabric, because here's what happens. The instructions got separated from the fabrics, and now I don't know where all the instructions are. I have to find them or download them or whatever. And some of them I was like, I don't really care for that, and so I just kind of put it to the side, but I loved the fabrics. So I found three of the fabric packets that they're all batiks, and they are all in, I don't know why I'm on a batik kick right now. They are all in really I'm back. It's like a zoo here. And I think Steve just got home. And so Minnie's going nuts. So the barking is Minnie. My great defender. Okay, so get this one. Okay. Oh, it's going to be a good size. It's going to be a good size. You know, sometimes when you look at it on paper and it's hard to imagine the size. So we're just going to sew these together. Over here. Pay attention. Okay. Again, this first one, for those of you that are, you know, far more advanced, this is going to be oh yeah, there we go. Okay, this is going to be pretty basic for you, but some of the squares, I mean, some of the blocks are like Square and a Square, Grandmother's Choice, Friendship Star, Old Windmill, a Simple Irish Chain, Jacob's Ladder. Like some of those I'm really excited to do. I think they're going to be really fun. Just more work for myself here. It's okay. Okay. First row done. Pretty, huh? Yeah, I'm digging that. I am digging it. Okay. And then, so if so you can sew along with me. You can not sew along with me. You can watch me sew. You can sew whatever you're sewing on. If you're sewing on something else, what are you sewing? What are you working on? My hope was that if I can get some of these things, you know, put together, that the fabrics and things put together, that line it up, that some of the more complicated ones will be a little bit easier because, well, geez. Come on, stay in line. Because otherwise, if I take the time to cut and try and get it all sewn in the same time, some of these ones that are a little bit more complicated for me, I'm looking at some of them, I don't know. It's gonna be a challenge. Very warm here again in Florida. I think just sorry. But nice. In fact, it was a little bit overcast today, and so that kind of helped to keep a little bit of the heat down. You know, it wasn't like blazing heat. And okay, get the next one. Okay, and you go on the other end. I think this is gonna be fun, and I think it's going to be. I think it's going to turn out cool with the fabrics because I don't have to go out and try and search them all out myself. I'm only hoping that. I have enough of the variations in here. If not, we'll have to find some other ones. Okay. Now, sew these rows together. Okay, so this is on top. Okay, so like this. Oh, let's press them. They're small enough. Okay, let's just press them a little bit. Okay. Here's the third one, okay? And you. And okay. Cooking with fire now. Let's do it that way so we can almost miss the seams. Whoops. Right, because then when I open it up, okay. Okay, here we go. And yeah, we're gonna slow this down. When I tend to sew too fast, all my stuff gets off. Oh, you know what I want to do? I do want to, I'll have to do it for tomorrow. I do want to, my stitches are a little short, a little small. I think I'd like to I'm gonna increase the stitch length just a little bit. I think I did that I think I was fixing something on clothing, and so I wanted like a smaller stitch. And, okay, don't look at it, it's not done yet. You go down here. Okay. And you get to go in there. Okay. Yeah, it's been a consistent day. Let's just say that. Not a whole lot of time for letting weeds grow. And my poor mom. They changed her. They've got her on this new medication, and it's making her really nauseous. And so I heard somebody say it the other day, and it's very true. Like sometimes you get, I know I get it. All TMI. I have pretty bad acid reflux, and so there's times when you get like somebody said, you get PTSD for overeating. You just get because you know what's going to happen afterwards. You just get so nervous, and you get so anxious that like you don't want to eat because you know what's going to happen. And that just makes you not feel good or nice or pretty or, it's just, it makes you, when you know that something's going to make you not feel good, obviously. And this medication is just making her a little bit queasy. So we're trying to figure that rigmarole out. Are you ready? Quilt number 1 is done. 9 patch. Hey, I think those are pretty good for my intersections. That's pretty tight. If I do say so myself, that's pretty good. Not to toot my own horn, but that's pretty good. Let's remember this day, on the day when none of the points line up, and we want to set the points on fire. Let's remember this day. And all the points lined up. Okay. So now, not really much to do in terms of squaring it up or anything. I think we'll just go with that. Square 1, done, in the bag. Tomorrow, the next one is A2, which is another 9 patch. So let's mark this that we did this one. Check. Let's do this one tomorrow. Ready? It's pinwheel. Oh, yeah. 2 5.5-inch squares of color 1 and 2 5.5-inch squares of color 2. Make 4 half-square triangles and trim to 4.5 inches square. Well, I think we know that's going to be a hoot. So that's what we'll do tomorrow. Okay. So tomorrow is the pinwheel. So I may as well, while you're sitting here, let's just cut the fabric. Let's just cut for tomorrow, so then we know it's done. And then we're gonna need a little bin or container or something, because otherwise this stuff's just gonna be everywhere. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Okay. Now, the pinwheel and the one from today are pretty far apart in the way that she has them laid out. So I think we're going to use the same fabrics. Okay? Okay, same fabrics. Same color. What do we need? 2, 5. Oh. It's almost 5 now. Let's just use this. I really can't. Okay. We need two 5.5s of each. All right, we can do that. 2 5.5-inch squares of each. 5.5. No, oh, that's the other thing I do is sometimes I start off from the end. I start like on the first inch mark, and then my cuttings are all off. And then I get to the end of my project and I can't figure out what in the world has gone wrong. And then I remember. Okay. 5 1/2. 1, 2, 3, cut on 4. 5 1/2. 5 1/2. Was this one I was using? Okay. I think sometimes my problem with my fabric and stuff shifting while I'm cutting, I don't wonder if sometimes my problem is that I think in my mind like I'm cutting through 17 layers of fabric, and so I'm trying to keep everything like so. I have so much downward pressure all over the place that I think it just doesn't. I think I just need to kind of relax just a little bit. Jeez, Angela. Okay. Sandra asked the other day, and I'll start telling you today, and then I'll finish telling you tomorrow. Here's my other issue, is sometimes you get these rulers that, good heavens, they have so many markings on them for all kinds of different things that you can't see anything that you're doing. It's so, that sometimes is frustrating. Sometimes I just want a ruler that has, a couple of marks. Okay. Cutting is done for tomorrow. We're just banging right through this thing. I may as well make a couple more cuts and then we'll call it a day. Sandra, my sweet Sandra, who is such a loyal follower, and we love her. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. She asked the other day, see when this weather starts to turn like this and it gets warm? These are bugs. Mosquitoes and little gnat things and little all manner of little flying things. Okay, I'm gonna do one more cut for one of the other ones. She asked why did we move from California to Florida? There were quite a few reasons why we moved from California to Florida. It started you can't hear the sound, but Steve's in the jelly bean jar. The jelly bean jar. I just heard it rattle. He thinks he's quite coy. I can hear the jar. 1, 2, 3 1/2. It started because I always loved, ever since I started coming down here, which really wasn't that long ago. But when I started coming down here, I just really fell in love with it. And at the time, Steve's mom was still with us. And she lived down here. She's lived in Florida most of her adult life. She had lived in Florida most of her adult life. Anyway, she was getting older, and she was getting, she was becoming less and less healthy. She's having more and more issues. And so we were trying 2, 3, 4. We used to just basically make Florida our little vacation spot, and we were always coming down here for conferences with the different companies that we work with. And so I don't think I need these. The smallest is 2.7 inch. These are barely 2 inches. Let me just look at this really quick and see. No, but we'll put them in the little stash bin. And so we would just come down here for like a conference, and we would just stay like an extra week or an extra few days to spend time with her. And she got to meet Minnie. We have great pictures of her and Minnie. But her health just, and so we started talking about, she said, oh, I wish you guys were closer. I wish I could see you more. And so we started talking about, would we actually ever move? And so we started thinking about it and talking about it, thinking about it and talking about it. And then we had that thing, where everybody got sick. And we have to use color 3. Okay, what's color 3? Color 1. Color 2. Color 3 is a coral. Some sort of a coral color. Ooh, that's going to be cool. On Friday, we'll introduce this color. Oh, so we'll just cut a couple of these. Then everybody got got sick, and the whole country shut down. And then we just started getting more and more disgruntled with certain things in California. And we'll probably carry this on tomorrow. Carry this conversation on tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Do I need color number 3 in 3.5 inch squares? Five-inch square. Before I cut this coral color, before I cut this third color up, I think I'm going to wait and read through it a little bit more tonight and kind of get my bearings on it, because I want to cut this things to maximize, because I only have one. Yeah. The other ones are a little bit different, and this one's really pretty. So I'm going to wait and not cut that one today. And then tomorrow we're going to do, what did I say? Pinwheels. Pinwheel quilt. Pinwheel square. How fun is that going to be? Okay, so today we did a 9 patch. And this is day 22. And this is the start of our sampler quilt. So excited. Okay, guys, have a great evening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and hit the little bell so that you get notifications of every time we do this quirky stuff. Tomorrow's Wednesday. It is Wednesday. And so I think tomorrow night, we'll be live. So tell your friends. Grab a cup of coffee. Grab a cup of wine. If it's been a long week, grab a bottle of wine. Whatever. And grab whatever you're working on. Come join us. We chit-chat. We sew. That's really what it is. That's really what it comes down to. But we're going to make a pinwheel quilt, and maybe we'll do the other one, which is another 9 patch in varying colors with the teal. With this pretty purple one. So it's going to be a jam-packed Wednesday. Okay. Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. Love ya. Bye. Have a good night.